they watch the show, they see like a revelation about who God is and like what He's made out of. What He's made out of.
What do you think one of the biggest challenges that young men face today?
I think that they face like do people think I'm good enough to be here? Can I do that? Am I different because I'm supposed to be? Like, I think that the challenge is that young men think that they're not special enough to be.
I love that the men were comfortable here. Nobody was rejected because of past mistakes, and nobody was treated differently because of how much they had or what they did in this life. All were accepted just because they were men, and that was enough. I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Freddie Scott. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a former NFL National Football League for our viewers around the world. Wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts. He's the author of The Dad I Wish I Had. He hosts the Freddie Scott radio show, Tackling the Game of Life. He's a certified NFL transitions coach. And recently in 2012, he founded a nonprofit, Unlock the Champion, an outreach program to the fatherless youth in his community. And most recently, the NFL has asked him to launch initiatives on domestic violence awareness, suicide prevention, mental health first aid. Freddie's a very busy guy, and I'm excited to get him introduced to you. Freddie Scott.
All right. How you doing? Good. Good to see you. Thank you.
Have fun.
We will. How's everybody doing? Awesome. Well, again, Brian, thank you so much for the opportunity. We're so excited about what God is doing, not just here, but what He's doing across the country, and for Him to have opened up doors to be able to influence men from the NFL to the inner city. There's one thing that I know is that this issue of men stepping up and stepping into our rightful roles is the heartbeat of God. And that heartbeat is resounding from the NFL league office to, the inner cities of any city in this country and in the world. And so for you to be here means that you are right in the flow of what God is doing right now. And so today, we're going to be talking about vision. But before we talk about it, I have a question to ask. What happens to someone who has no vision? They perish, right? All from not having a clear what? Vision. So our foundation scriptures on that next slide I'm going to go over just a couple clear passages, which is 1 Corinthians 2:9, eye is not seen, nor ear heard, neither is entered into your hearts the thing that God has already prepared for you. But I'm glad that it doesn't stop right there. The Bible says He reveals it to us by His Spirit. If we don't know the vision, it's because we haven't spent enough time in His presence. Because everyone in here should be able to give a 30-second elevator speech of, hello, my name is Freddie Scott, and God made me to help empower men to love and lead their families, and for me to be the best husband and father that I was made to be. That's my mission statement. Do you know yours? See, there's power in having a clear vision. It lets me know what I should do and also lets me know what I shouldn't do. It lets me know what my assignment is as well as what my assignment is not. See, I played football. I was a wide receiver. But on offense, there's 11 different positions. There are receivers, running backs. You could be a lineman. But you know what? Just because you're a lineman doesn't mean if you're the right tackle, that's different than the left guard. You have to understand not just I'm playing a game, but you have to realize what is my role in the game. I can be on a team, but if I don't know my role on the team, I may not be helping the team win. See, there's some people that are just happy to wear a uniform. You remember those. You remember back high school days, people played on the team, and we walk around. They just liked, on game day where you could wear your jersey in the hallway. You remember those days? You walking around, it's like, yeah, I'm on the team. Yeah, check me out, and they like running out on the field, busting through the tape and all excited and hear the fans and everything. Now, what do you do after that? I'm just sitting on the sideline watching the game like everybody else. That's that one-tier person that I'm just happy to be on the team because my vision was just to be on the team. But you have that next-tier person. That next tier says, you know what? I'm not just happy or content to be on the team. Man, I want to be on the field. Anybody here want to be on the field? Who wants to I don't want to just wear the uniform. Man, I want to get it dirty. Right? I want to get this thing dirty, man. Get me on kickoff coverage. Get me on punt return. Get me on a special. Let me do something. I want to get on the field. I want to have somebody take that picture of that. Yeah, I was on the field making a play, doing my thing. Anybody can say, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I want to be on the field making a play. And that's awesome. But that wasn't me. I was that next tier. I said, I don't want to just be on the team, and I don't want to just be on the field. I want to be the man that the other team feared. I want to be the guy that the other coach is trying to figure out strategies. How are we going to stop this guy? I love that. The competitive nature to say, I know my job, I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm wired for, and there's nobody that's going to outwork me at this. Do you have that clear vision in your head of what God has wired you for? And are you chasing that with your whole heart? See, some of us need to be reminded of what I call stretch goals. Stretch goals. That's what Genesis 15:5 is when God tells Abram, at the time before he was Abraham, says, can you count the stars? Because Abram had this question. Say, okay, we're developing this relationship. Okay, I left my dad's house, and you said you're going to show me some stuff, but, I don't have any seed. I don't have a child of my own. The only child is from someone else. And God said, no. You don't even have to worry about that. Yes, you're going to have your own child. And not only that, look up. Can you count the stars? So shall your seed. Now, at the time, Abraham was tripping about one child. At the time, his faith was stretched for one child. But from God's perspective, he saw him with so many kids that he couldn't even count them. That's a stretch goal. Sometimes we look at our life and say, oh my goodness, if we could ever just do this. And God's like, that's it. Where I see you is, I see you doing all of this. And in fact, from my perspective, it's already done. I just need you to walk this thing out by faith, one day at a time. Stop handcuffing God with what you can believe, with what you see, and what your past experience has been. And using that to define what's potential you have. Your past should have no bearing on your future expectations?
My name is Jeff Kikta,
I'm Glenn Kikta.
and we were part of the TV4DADS Season 2 up in West Branch. I think one thing that I really enjoyed is it was one of the first events when the whole group was fishing around the pond, and Glenn and I I've fished for almost all my life. Glenn loves to fish too, but it wasn't so much about us fishing, it was about enjoying watching the people that had never fished before, and the excitement it brought, not just to the other people there, but even to Brian when Glenn caught a good-sized bass, and Brian got his GoPro out, got it down in the water, and got a shot of the bass, and just that it just, I don't know, it set the stage for some cool camaraderie. And I think the camaraderie in general, you bring a whole bunch of people together that don't know each other, and by the end of the week, we had friendships. There was friendships gained that you can sense when you come back and you reunite with them here. So those are some of the highlights for me.
I mean, like, doing all these really, like, fun, risky, like, activities like zip lining and the high ropes course. Like, seeing how different people did them and, like, how nervous they were and, like, how they thought of it and stuff. So.
A lot of it was conquering fears.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch people, including me, conquer fear of heights. And, you know, it's the passion of Brian is that we need to pass on our beliefs onto the next generation. So Brian's big with rite of passage and boys to men, and I think that's something that theme was just a common theme throughout the event, and that was probably what's stuck out most to me.
It's not hard to interact with people from all over the country that come to do these events and get to know them and worship with them. It really gets easy after the first couple hours of doing it with them. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. It was the impact to me was the fact that so many people can come together from such a different background and have such a common core and belief and desire for their sons and daughters, and that was when you come together with fellow Christians, it's like there's no barrier, there's no walls built up, and it's such a you just get to know them so much quicker, you know, and it's almost like a part of your family. It's hard to explain other than that it's just a part of your family. People that you don't know, you come together and you feel like you've known them for the majority of your life. And that's what's unique about this.
Now, we're talking about having a vision, having a dream, but how many of us know that sometimes life beats you up? Anybody admit that sometimes life just isn't fair? How many of us have allowed the trials and the obstacles and the adversity of life to beat us up so much that the dream that we once had is now a distant memory, and I've settled into the acceptance of defeat? Anybody want to get that vision back? Okay, I only heard like 2 people. I said, does anybody want to get that vision back? All right, in the next slide, I'm going to show you a couple things about the power of stretch goals. It's something that is so big that only God can do it. So I'm not talking about a goal, okay, I have a goal of being able to work out for 30 days. That's not a stretch goal. If you can see it, and if it can be done in 30 days, if it can be done in 12 months, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. Something that's so big like that Genesis 15 big. I thought just one kid would be great, but you're talking about stars in the sky, and what? There's no way that's a stretch goal. I dare you to seek God and say, God, give me that type of dream. Give me that type of vision that I don't even know how it can happen, but I know that it's so big that when it does, you're the only one that can get the glory. Something that makes you think big. I don't know about you, but I don't serve a small God. I don't serve an impotent God. I serve a God that is all powerful. And the end of my knowledge is just the beginning of his. I'll say that again because I can hear your brains processing. The end of your knowledge is just the beginning of his. I'd rather do things from his perspective instead of mine. Stretch goals also gives you the joy and the energy to endure the obstacles that you must endure to possess it. Hebrews 12:2 says, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross. Wait a minute. Is this the same Jesus that was praying at the Garden of Gethsemane and said, Father, if there's any way, can this cup be passed for me? Father, please, can an angel do it? Father, please, I really don't want to do this assignment. I'll love the people. We'll heal the people. We'll love on them. We'll walk on water. We'll rebuke the demons. We'll tell the storm to stop. We'll do all of that, but you telling me to go there? You want me to do what? I mean, I know we had talked about it before, but now at the moment of execution, literally and figuratively, it's too much. Can you pray for me? Peter, James, I need you to pray for me. I know my prayers can get through, but I need your prayers right now because I'm going through some stuff right now that I really don't want to do, and I need your prayers. God was stretching him. And at some point in that time, he saw something. Jesus saw something that flipped the whole thing. That he went from, can this cup pass, to, come on, guys, let's go. Come on. Get up, wake up, wake up. I don't need you praying no more. Come on, let's go. Soldiers show up. Hey, are you Jesus? I am. And the Bible says the whole legion fell. Can you imagine being in law enforcement or something? You go and arrest somebody and they say, hey, are you Jesus or whomever? And they say, I am, and you fall. So you go arrest him. I'm not arresting you. You go do it. I'm not putting no cuffs on him. Peter's going to get up and try to cut the ear off of the guy. He's like, Peter, man, you tripping. Man, come on, man. Just say, here you go. Let's go. What happened that took Jesus from agony and torment and, oh my goodness, what I have to endure is so much, to, oh my gosh, come on, let's go do this. He had a clear vision of what was about to happen because of his obedience. And that picture was so glorious, it made the sacrifice insignificant. Do you have a vision that's so glorious that it makes the sacrifice of what God is asking you to do insignificant? See, I had a dream of playing in the NFL as a kid. And that dream was cool, but that dream was so real for me, it made me willing to do the steps required to ultimately see it come to pass. And in fact, to show you how God does, I was sharing the story at an NFL event, and I didn't realize NFL Films was there recording the thing, and I didn't realize the cameras were still on. And I was talking about my vision as a child. And the director was so moved that he ended up making a whole commercial out of it about the power of vision, which is the very next slide. I was a kid. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to dream. No one told me, man, that's a dumb dream. Stop putting on the uniform. You'll never make it there. Do you know the odds of actually making it to the NFL? Do you know the odds of 2 people in your family making it to the NFL? That's a stupid dream. But the dream was so alive that it made me see things that weren't there. My room wasn't a bedroom, it was the locker room. My backyard's not the backyard, it's a stadium. I'm preparing myself, and I remember jogging out into the field the very first time, and it was so surreal because I had already been there. Do you have a dream that's so real that you can walk it out in some way, even if it's just in your own mind, that every day I'm doing something to bring me closer to this dream that God has given me? I'm going to close with 3 things to help you make your goals. 3 simple things. Dream big. Wake up that inner child that's in you. I don't care what age you are, you're still that 6-year-old little boy that still likes to dream, but at some point someone told you stop dreaming, or at some point life beat you up and you said, ouch. Dream big. Write it down. It's not real until it's written. It's not real until it's written. Write it down. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision. Make it plain that he that readeth can run. Having it in your head is just a dream. Writing it down, now it's a goal. Share it with someone. Share it with someone. Be courageous enough to be able to tell someone else about that dream and ask them to hold you accountable for it. Yeah, I have this dream, this pet. Now, you can't tell everyone. I said someone, not everyone. Because some people are dream killers or dream stealers. But pray, Father, show me someone that is a part of that band of brothers, someone that I can pour my heart to. And I know you'll hold me accountable and you'll support me in this dream. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Find someone to help you. And those simple things are game changers. Now all of a sudden this dream, you wake up with a little, okay, we doing something today. Well, I don't care how big that mountain is. We about to just run through that thing, blow it up, something happen. I know where I'm going. There's nothing like a man who knows where he's going. Knows why I'm leading and why I'm loving. And I don't care what my wife is doing, what my kids are doing, what the situation may look like. I know where we're going. I see my family blessed. I see my marriage blessed. I see my blessing on the job and wherever God's called me to. I see it. And whatever situation I'm going through right now, it's just a situation that's subject to change. It came to pass. You know that passage, the Bible says it came to pass. Your situation came to pass. That's the reason why it came. It didn't come to stay. It came to pass. The only thing that stays and is unmovable and unchanging is God. And when you become alive to the vision that is already real from God's perspective, you will see everything in your life move out of the way and become in alignment with what God has already said is yours. Do you receive that? I said, do you receive that? Hallelujah. Thank you.
Freddie. Good stuff, huh? Man, oh man, we're taking it in. All right, what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to get back into our groups. And here's something I really want you to key in on. One of the things, Freddie said so many good things, but one of the things was that ouch, that moment of ouch. Everybody get that? That was the moment where what happens in a team or in a man? What happens? You give up. You give up. So I want you to reflect on here just for 15 minutes in your groups with your buddies is, have you had your ouch moment and you haven't come back from that? And you gave up a piece of you and something that was birthed in you for a purpose, and it no longer is living and well. You maybe have set it on a shelf. You maybe have rationalized the way that, well, you know, maybe I didn't hear God right, and maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. And what Freddie has unlocked for us, guys, is let's consider that maybe that was simply an ouch moment in your life. It was not intended to be the time that you let it go. It was intended to be the time that you press through. And the beautiful thing about the game of life that we're playing here, unlike a football game, we don't, as long as you're breathing, the game continues. Okay? As long as we're breathing, the game continues. So is it possible that something has happened in your life where you said, ouch, and then you began to move back, you began to minimize, and you no longer are pursuing what God has called you to do? And if we could simply identify if that's happening for us, just the beginning of the transformation is identification. So get with your guys. We're going to just take 15 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about that. And what's beautiful here, guys, is this is a safe place. And even the younger guys, they may not understand everything that's being said here. But when a young guy gets to be around men that are being open and truthful with one another, it will stick in their souls. And they will understand that men are not perfect. Men have problems, but then men come together and we work it out.